The 90s and early 2000s was a fun time for entertainment because edginess reigned supreme. There was no holding back. I mean,
this is fucking raw!
All the best channels were giving us the edgiest of programs to our delinquent asses. There was no shortage of dark humor, and since I knew that it was all in good fun, I was just embracing all these shows and recording them on VHS tapes to go back and rewatch them. I still own most of those tapes, which is great because some of them would never be returning to television, some would never stream on any streaming services, and some would never even get physical releases. So for today, I want to talk about these 3 programs that have been ignored to this day, specifically the celebrity parody shows.
Having a hard day? Nothing going right? Maybe it's time you got away. Come to Camp X-Ray in beautiful Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
I don't remember exactly when I saw this show, but I do remember that it was airing on VH1. In fact, the show was called VH1s Illustrated, created by Bob Cesca. But the problem I see online regarding this show's background is that it's all over the place. It doesn't add up. Google says that it first aired on the USA channel on October 17th of 2003. Wikipedia says it only aired on VH1, VTV, MTV2, and SBS. Google also says that the show aired on Cartoon Network as part of Adult Swim. Again, I only recall seeing this show on VH1, hence the name VH1s Illustrated. I don't see how a show with a name like that can possibly air in any other TV programs, unless the show was just titled Illustrated. Plus, I couldn't find a single clip or image showing that they aired in any of these channels besides VH1.
If you just put your finger over your mouth like this, and you feel that thing at the back of your throat, I call it my problem-solving button. Just push on it and watch all your problems go away.
There are a handful of episodes available on YouTube. I watched the ones available and they're missing some of the good sketches I remember. What sucks is that I recorded them, but ironically, I can't find the tape I used to record those missing episodes. But I can tell you what they were about. One of them had Eminem dressed up as Spider-Man, and then he proceeds to sing the Cleaning Up My Closet track, but it's directed towards Green Goblin instead of his mom, so he's like, "I'm sorry, Goblin, I never meant to hurt you," something like that. Another one had Michael Jackson driving a taxi cab, making conversation with his clients as a bird rips his nose off. Yeah, that was the humor, the fact that he didn't have one. There was one about a Shrek parody called Spoink, the Ugliest Monkey. He meets Jennifer Lopez, she finds him hideous until a magician turns her into an ugly monkey as well, so they become a couple. There was one about George Bush. They made a lot of skits with George Bush and this other old guy that's always paired up with him. But in this missing skit, they're in their jammies messaging each other on their old computers back and forth. It was kind of funny because they sounded like messages coming from 2 teenage kids. Like one semi-funny message was when they started just sending lyrics back and forth like, "Guess who's back? Back again? Shady's back. Tell a friend. LOL." Like they kept saying like LOL over and over and over. It could work or not. Let's see, another missing skit was about Anna Nicole Smith going on a blind date with a rock star. I can't remember the guy's name. I can only remember that he kept repeatedly saying skiddly diddly bop da doo ba, something like that. I'm not making these up, by the way. I'm only explaining these because I couldn't find a single picture or video clip about him, so if they stay lost, at least people have an idea of what those missing episodes were all about.
911, what's your emergency?
This is Christopher Walken. I think I'm having a heart attack.
Prank calling 911 is a crime, sir.
But I really am Christopher Walken. This is an emergency.
You know, your little joke might work better if you actually did a good Walken impression. Like this. But I really am Christopher Walken, and this is an emergency.
Please, you have to help me.
Yeah, that's better. But more like, please, you have to help me.
So being a comedic animated series, was it funny? I'll tell you this, they're okay, but they're not something you'd be binging. That is probably the only good thing about this series not streaming. A lot of the jokes fall flat. They reminded me of the movie parodies, which also mocked celebrities, and those jokes almost always fell flat. But the ones that worked, they're pretty damn good.
Do you, Christopher Walken?
My Christopher Walken can't breathe. chest pain, unbearable.
No, see, what you're doing is Kevin Spacey doing Christopher Walken.
Just make sure not to watch these around anyone, because they'll think that this is your level of humor. I don't know, maybe it works if you and the boys are just drinking with this playing in the background. Or they'll just say to change it to something good.
You want to be on the same team, or you want to go up against each other?
Let's be on the same team and fight someone imaginary.
Sounds good. You want to fight the Thundercats?
I would, but I have a Thundercat script over at Paramount. It's too close to home.
I understand. Let's just take on the Russians as usual. Pow pow. Take that, commies.
Rambo, help me!
I'm coming, Terminator. Karate chop. Karate chop. You're dead, Russian.
Speaking of something good, this is one of the greatest shows ever made. No bullshit. The show Celebrity Deathmatch, created by Eric Fogel, cannot be replicated. There's something about the 90s and early 2000s that edginess was just king. Claymation is one of the toughest things to create. It requires a lot of patience, major skills if you can replicate a celebrity's face and deliver within a short schedule, since they aired a new episode every week. This show was funny, creative, entertaining, gory, even educational at times. I mean, it was a spectacular ass show. The concept alone says it all. It's a fight to the death, with celebrities as combatants. And the beauty of each fight was that they did not hold back with the violence. I don't know if claymation is like a loophole around censorship, but it seems to me like every time I see claymation, it's followed up by intense blood and gore, so maybe it is a loophole. So Celebrity Deathmatch aired on MTV back in 1998. Then in 2005 it aired on MTV2's Sickimation. And that was the greatest time to watch CDM, because they aired marathons of this gem, straight down to its pilot episode that only had one fight, which was Marilyn Manson versus Charles Manson. It was an incredible time for CDM fans, I'm telling you. Except for the time that they decided to continue the series with a 5th and 6th season, because those 2 seasons were made by a different group and everything about it was terrible. Cringe, corny, nothing about it was worth sitting through. I made a video describing the first episode of the 5th season from the return of CDM, so you can see why everything was a mess. I made a video describing the pilot episode of CDM as well. Every once in a while I make CDM content. But anyways, this series from seasons 1 through 4 were beyond perfection. Celebrities of all kind going up against their celebrity rivals. Sometimes they included weapons or a venue change of appearance. What I loved about every fight was that the celebrity combatants would find ways to insult their opponent, whether verbally, physically, or a combination of both.
And this fight is on.
Girlfriend, who does your hair? The electric company?
I invented electricity, little bitch. Whoa.
This is the one show that I wish I had on DVD or Blu-ray. Unfortunately, none of these shows got released as physical products. You might find a VHS tape or 2 showing a handful of episodes, but no series collections available to this day.
Come on! This is a story of a dog named Buddy, lost on the mean streets of Hollywood. Where my dogs at? Come on! Yeah! Where my dogs at?
This show was off the hook. Also airing on MTV2's Sickimation during 2006. It is one of the best shows that aired on that channel. It was created by Aaron Matthew Lee and Jeff Ross, and this show was about 2 talking dogs. They were named Buddy and Woof, and these 2 dogs go around Hollywood just chilling with celebrities, and hilarity just ensues. I think if we compare the humor between the 3 shows we've been looking at, this one is the funniest. The humor is just top notch. They come up with clever ways to poke fun at these celebrities.
I found little Zamboni crawling around in the bushes again, trying to escape.
In the mid-2000s, nobody was safe. It didn't matter how good music artists and actors were doing at the time. Everyone was like in their prime, and even though they were delivering with quality entertainment, they still got roasted. You could only imagine what these shows would have delivered with if they could only tackle today's music artists and actors, since, you know, they're all in dire need of being humbled. My favorite episode would have to be the one with Snoop. He roasted the hell out of those Disney Channel jabronis.
Yo,
Yo, Iceberg, tell Snoop to get his A-double-S out here.
What did you just say to my trusted manservant?
I said, could I borrow a cup of shoot me? I mean sugar. Don't shoot me, not that you would, sir.
You've been messing with my grass, threatening my dogs, and now you think you can step to me, you little Disney Channel bitches?
So why do we not have these shows streaming or at least released on DVD or Blu-ray? You know, at least some way of watching them in great quality? Well, the difference between now and then is that back then, making fun of celebrities did not come with lawsuits, and now, if the creators of these shows wanted to stream their shows, they would need permission from every single celebrity they made fun of, and the only way they'd agree is if they received a percentage of the show's stream revenue, so it's pretty much out of the question. Maybe the only reason why the 5th and 6th seasons of Celebrity Deathmatch are streaming on Paramount Plus, it must be because that was a different crew, and since it was the return of Celebrity Deathmatch, then they must have come up with like a contract that had like a loophole around them to stream without permission from the celebrities that they were mocking. But yeah, in the end it all comes down to celebrities wanting a part of that cash. They all want something to do with it. If their name is mentioned, they're gonna want to be getting a little bit of that dinero. So it all comes down to money. And yeah, we're never gonna see these shows streamed for sure because of that. And the fact that everybody's, we got pansies everywhere. Nobody wants to take a joke these days, so we're pretty much screwed when it comes to poking any bear these days. That's it for the video. Special thanks to my patrons. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you want to see some more weekly content, then hop over to my Patreon where I post exclusive content, exclusive vids, updates on current projects, and the latest artwork based on the comics I've been working on. You can also show your support by getting a hold of the channel merch. Yeah. I also opened up a new Twitter account to post artwork and memes, so there's that. Anyways, I'll see you all next time, and remember to have an awesome day.